I first met Tim Berners-Lee in the mid-1980s. Then later, he wrote his proposal and so on. I saw the proposal. And I think the second time around, or maybe the third time around, a proposal actually was looked at, and he was in a position to ask for a computer that he wanted to prototype this on. And I also will never forget the day when, about 2 or 3 months later, I think this was ordered in May of 1990, Tim rushed in my office and said, Ben, it's arrived, come and look. And I went in his office and I saw this sexy black cube, and he was just setting it up. And it was the easiest machine to set up that I'd ever seen. And it was so impressive. And he was, of course, you know, over the moon with this machine. Very soon after that, it had arrived in September, I suppose. By Christmas, he had everything working. His own code, his own system, he invented everything. He had a browser and a server working on this machine, and by New Year, he started to show people. But I was very, very happy and not so surprised when it became the success that it became.
The memorial cube was given to the college by friends and family of a student, 𝘽𝙧𝙧𝙀 SYMBOLISM, who died in 1972, and that's the date of the sculpture. Over the years, I've seen students come by this work and interact. Indeed, it can spin on its axis, and students have had a great deal of fun with it. And indeed, the work does invite this kind of play and interaction. Now, Tony Rosenthal is a very well-known sculptor, and his works are in collections across the country. This work is closely related to the most famous work that Rosenthal did, and that is his Astor Place cube, which is titled Alamo, but everybody calls it Astor Place cube. This is in the East Village in New York, and it too spins on its axis. So this is sort of the little sister, done 4 years later and done at a half scale of the New York work. So when you move it, you're sort of making gestures or dancing with it. Another example of the interactions that this inspires.
This is a sculpture by the Czech artist Marian Karel. A student of Stanislav Lubensky, Marian Karel also uses geometric forms for his sculptures. What you are looking at is a large black cube, but it is not just a cube. What about this sculpture is different? If you look closely, you will see that each of the sides of the sculpture, the top and even the bottom, are slightly bulging. They are bowing outward. The sculpture does not sit flat on the platform, but rather is raised. Karel does this purposely, and what he wants us to imagine is that there is something inside of the cube, some sort of energy that is pushing the walls of the cube outward. This sculpture illustrates a principle that Stanislav Lubensky taught to his students. He said, abstraction in art is like an egg. You can have a very clean, minimal shape on the outside, but it has to be enlivened by something warm and mysterious inside of it. What he meant by this is that abstract art must be enlivened by an internal energy. If you look at the label for this sculpture, you will see a small drawing, and that is Karel's theoretical idea for the energy inside of the cube. This energy, or internal dynamo, is made up of interlocking geometric shapes. In this sculpture, and in many of the other sculptures in this gallery, you can see how the artist explores the contradictory nature of glass. Contemporary artists work with materials for a reason. They choose glass for a reason. And so some of the things that they investigate in using glass as a material are its unique properties. Glass is transparent, and glass is also opaque. Glass is fragile, yet it is also strong. Glass absorbs light, and it also reflects light. Glass has optical properties, which you can see in this cube in the distortion of your reflection in the surface.
When you move it, you're sort of making gestures or dancing with it. Another example of the interactions that was inspired.
This video was uploaded by someone who attended a church in Mexico. The mysterious thing about the video is that if the head of the sculpture was loose, it should have moved when manipulated. Instead, the movement that can be perceived happens when they had put it in its place. Another interesting thing though is that the priest who is speaking seems to be mystified and makes a mistake when speaking, just as the statue raises its head.
Reconozcan al Señor Jesús como el Hijo amado que el Padre ha enviado para salvación de todos.
Reconozcan al Señor Jesús como el Hijo amado que el Padre ha enviado para salvación de todos.
This is for sure the most controversial and shocking recording of a Jesus statue in motion. It was uploaded to the platform 11 months ago. Once again, the event was captured in a Mexican church. While a mass was held, one can see how the statue seems to open its eyes and close them immediately once it identifies that someone is recording. This is another case reported in Mexico. Several people are in a wake, and someone is filming the coffin and the statue in the background. Some say that they would simply get scared and leave the place, but remember, it's a wake. Also, the movement that can be noticed is so slight that if it were true, probably no one would have noticed it in person.
Soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. I'll seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. I see. Survive, and I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow.